Qinghai's urgent message to all world leaders and governments. The full lecture can be downloaded free at suprememastertv.com/download. The same link also has Supreme Master Qinghai's 3 other new urgent messages. Supreme Master Qinghai's urgent message to all animal meat business and livestock factory owners. Also fishing, egg, milk, fur, lab test, cosmetics and leather industries. As well as Supreme Master Qinghai's urgent call to rescue our world and pray for world vegan. And Supreme Master Qinghai's urgent message to all religious and spiritual leaders.
Respected leaders and government officials, I am really grateful to you for all you have done up to date to help our world the best you can. I thank you all. This is just a reminder because I know that you know what the right thing to do. You must protect all under your wings, the co-citizens and the co-inhabitants, that is, the so-called animals. They are utterly helpless and at the mercy of humans' power. The fact is, there is no humane slaughter, no such thing as lawful murder en masse of the innocents. The world is burning, threatened to get worse any moment. Humans and animals perishing at an alarming rate. Heavens and earth are plaguing us with ever new, more strange diseases. Destructive signs are evident everywhere. Warning signs are amber and obvious around our world. Our climate is accelerating. Animals raising, fish, egg, milk industry, etc., anything to do with animals are the worst producers of lethal methane gas, which heats up our planet. So, stopping these brutal, murderous businesses is the fastest way to cool our earth. You have the power to stop all this. You have the privilege to implement vegan law. No more animal-related suffering businesses. Zero pain, agony for all beings, humans and animals. Because kindness will beget kindness, and compassion will beget compassion. Mercy will beget mercy from heaven. And this vegan law is the most effective way to save our world. So do not run away anymore from this inevitable decision. Simply just make the vegan law and sign it before it's too late for you to decide the right thing, before it's too late to even regret, before more of God's wrath descends upon us with more severe weather, more plague, more terror, more lives lost, more precious resources disappear, more financial disaster. Work for God, with God, so you will be feeling light, pure, and happy. By doing the right thing now, make the vegan law to save our world. Make veganism the law.
Please keep watching to find out more. This is a highly recommended must-watch. As for all our shows, viewers may download this message free and send it to your respected government leaders, family and friends. God bless. The other 3 recent special messages. Supreme Master Qinghai's urgent message to all animal meat business and livestock factory owners. Also fishing, egg, milk, fur, lab test, cosmetics and leather industries. As well as Supreme Master Qinghai's urgent call to rescue our world and pray for world vegan. And Supreme Master Qinghai's urgent message to all religious and spiritual leaders. can also be downloaded free at suprememastertv.com/download.
Warning: you might find the content herein disturbing, but the truth must be revealed.
This is an open letter to all the leaders and governments of this world. First of all, I want to give you thanks sincerely that you have forsaken privacy and work in irregular hours, long hours, to serve the public and to bring the standard of our co-citizens to a more desirable level in many aspects, while sacrificing personal pleasure, wellness, and precious time, plus enduring criticism sometimes. I am thanking especially the leaders and important ministers and other high positions in the government of this world who try their best to govern the nations with all they have got. I'm helping by this an invisible way. I'm supporting you mentally and spiritually. With our love and respect and best wishes, I am sending this letter on air to clarify some of your questions and maybe some of my not very clear intention in the letters that I have sent you previously. The most important answer, of course, would be that it's not about how to humanly slaughter. It is about we must not slaughter at all. Zero tolerance of animal products. Respected leaders and government officials. I am really grateful to you for all you have done up to date to help our world the best you can, especially the higher position of leadership, such as the kings, the queens, the prince, the princess, the prime ministers, presidents, ministers of different departments. I thank you all. In the name of all citizens of the world, I appreciate what you have done. It's not easy to be in a little role and working with so many different personalities, opinions, and so on. This is just a reminder, because I know that you know what the right thing to do. You know what it is, yes, because you are smart. That's why you are chosen to lead and help wherever needed, whomever needed, including our co-citizens, the animals. But you know what to do. You know deep in your heart what to do, what's the right thing to do for the world. Heavens hold you responsible for your work on earth to represent justice, to care for God's children, and you know the cost of not doing it right. You must protect all under your wings, the co-citizens and the co-inhabitants, that is, the so-called animals. They are utterly helpless and at the mercy of humans' power. I wrote many letters to all of you who work in the governmental body. Many of you did answer. Many of you have some question, or differently. Some do not answer. Maybe because you still take time to think about this subject. It's heart-wrenching, isn't it? Because I can hear animals' anguish cries. So, how would you not? You have more protection for health, etc. The poor citizens have less. Well, many of them poorly can afford the protection they need. And the animals absolutely do not have a voice, a choice, any lawyers to protect them at all. Pray heaven, have mercy on us and on the animals. Put yourself in their position, so helplessly delivered to brutality. Perhaps you are still pondering about it. We thank heaven for whatever help render to our world and to all beings on this planet. Amen. Animals, they do have souls, wisdom, knowledge, and even some magical power, visibly and invisibly. Sometimes we can see it, and it's amazing. I tell you one of the story. I live in a kind of remote mountainous area, high in the mountain. And some monkeys come to my surrounding, dig in some of the root to eat. And I have given them some food. They always thank you. Thank me. I say, thanks heaven. I'm just passing the gift to you. Thank God. And every time they see me, they always greet me with, we wish you well. Oh, oh. That's wish you well. And thank you is, like that. Every time they eat something, because I left it outside, and I cannot always wait for them to eat, so I'm inside. And even they have finished the food, they wait. The king of the monkeys wait for me to pop out or somewhere on the window and say that before he left. The story about the animals who helped me or show their intelligence are a lot. Just we don't have a lot of time to tell everything here. Just maybe one more story of the spider who saved my life. The spider. This spider was very big, bigger than the size of my palm, almost the size of my stretched out palm. And one night about 2 o'clock in the morning, I was meditating, and suddenly I got up. I wanted to write something in my diary, and then I saw a big spider. And it's the second time he came to warn me about something. So I said, what is it today? He told me, don't turn off the light. Stay away from the sofa. And I was thinking, why is that? And then I saw a snake crawling, almost reach where I was sitting. So, of course, I used a net kind of instrument, you know. People use it to catch the butterfly or something from the house to bring him out. So I used that to let him crawl in, and I put him outside. I was really grateful that he saved my life that day, because it was a very poisonous snake. I can tell by the color and the triangle shape of his head. And the story of the monkeys is much longer, but I don't want to tell too much about animal stuff because the letter is long. I probably will tell it to my so-called disciples in another time. And also the story about the squirrels, etc., etc. So many stories about animals who showed me their intelligence and goodness. Actually, I asked the spider, why are you so good to me? That's the second time you helped me. The spider told me that, because you are very kind-hearted. You have never killed us. I said, kill you? How would I even think about that? He said, not just the spider type, but you save all the insects from your house. You never killed any of us insects. So we also have to help you. That's what he said. Animals, they are wonderful. It's unfortunate for us that we do not preserve our telepathy communication, which is universal and very convenient for all beings to communicate with each other with our language, because we have so many languages, and animals, they also have their own languages. So it would have been more convenient for us if we could remember how to communicate inside. And animals, even trees, they helped me many times, so I'm very, very in debt to them. Just recently, because I am making so many speeches concerning peace for the world and peace for the animals. So, of course, whatever left over from the negative subordinates, they disturb me a lot. making all kind of trouble. If cannot directly to me, then they make trouble to my assistants, etc. Yeah, make something happen. Just to waste my time, to disturb my concentration for my intensified meditation retreat. I am still in retreat, but God told me I have to write this to you. And I don't have enough time to keep writing to each of you all the time like I did. So I will send this on air. Perhaps it's more convenient for all of you to listen, because it's only one answer: the vegan diet, the vegan world that will rescue our planet and secure lasting peace for all beings on earth. I guess you know already what to do. I do hope. I do see some very little tiny baby steps toward the benevolent world of veganism. Well, at least many nations are helping other less fortunate nations and some needy people around the world, and I'm very, very grateful for that. Thank God and bless you. Our world has become better, that's for sure. But now we have one more step to go, the vegan step. Then all will be perfect. You will see. All will be peaceful. Everyone will relax, happy. Happier than now, more peace than now. It could be paradise too. But you're still thinking about it, about what to do. To have a vegan law, to tell everyone to be vegan and done away with all meat, eggs, milk, fish. When I say meat, I mean fish also, and whatever that moves. And even eggs are no good for us. Also involved a lot of killing. And raising animals of any kind is making our planet climate change worsen because of the methane and all kind of economical related problem. You are thinking hard. Maybe that's why you try also very hard to avoid the most lethal enemy of our world, the one that causes the degradation of our human status, causes death by billions of humans and animals, maims, disables other billions of lives, and continues to do so every day. But there's no time to think now. Please do act quickly. We must stop all this. We are a civilized race of beings, intelligent race of beings. It's 21st century. Many masters comes and go, teach us benevolence and kindness to all beings. We cannot continue massacring other beings or humans. You have the power to stop all this. You have the privilege to implement vegan law. No more animal-related suffering businesses. Zero pain, agony for all beings, humans and animals. And animal laws is the best. Animal protection law meaning vegan law. No more causing any harm, any pain, any fear to animals. Because kindness will beget kindness. And compassion will beget compassion. Mercy will beget mercy from heaven. As you sow, so shall you reap. The Bible states that. All the main religion of the world states that. And this vegan law is the most effective way to save our world. Because you know well, by now, by UN warning, by scientific research report, we know that the meat, fish, eggs, milk, laboratory tests on animals, leather industry, anything to do with hurting animals, domestic or wild, are detrimental to our world. We talk about all kinds of climate reduction or reducing air pollution, but animal raising, fish, egg, milk industry, etc., anything to do with animals are the worst producers of lethal methane gas, which heats up our planet. So, stopping these brutal, murderous businesses is the fastest way to cool our Earth. By the way, whales, the big giant gentle fishes in the sea, they are savers of our world, savers of oxygen. They keep CO2 in them for a long, long time, and they produce at least 50% atmospheric oxygen for our world. Imagine that. And still some people are hunting them for food, making excuses such as scientific research. What do we have to do any research with the fish who has existed, hundreds of thousands of years in the sea? If we don't touch them, we leave them alone, God takes care of them. There's a report I'll read to you from Dr. Chami, Dr. Thomas Cosimano, Dr. Cornell Follenkamp, and Sina Ostoson that we air on our recent noteworthy news on Supreme Master Television, December 28, 2019, for your reference. Here it is. International Monetary Fund report calls for urgent conservation of whales to address climate change. How wise. Economists from the United States analyzed research about whales' role in capturing carbon, described in IMF Finance and Development publication. They explained that a whale can sequester an estimate 33 tons of carbon during his or her lifetime, while in comparison, a tree absorbs up to 22 kilograms per year. The carbon is stored in the whale's body and stays out of the atmosphere for hundreds of years, even after he or she passes away. It stays within her body and stay out of our atmosphere. Can you imagine that? So God has arranged many savers, angels in disguise, in the form of the animals to help us. Naturally, the whale stay in the ocean if she passed away naturally in the ocean and stay there. In addition, the whale's life activities promote the growth of phytoplankton. Repeat, the whales produce phytoplankton, which provides at least 50% of atmospheric oxygen and captures 40% of global carbon annually. 40%. The whales capture 40% of global carbon annually. Imagine. Wow. During her lifetime, all the whales are like that. And that is their mission. I repeat, the whales capture 40% of global carbon annually. The whales. Here is the website for you to review. I will put it on the screen for you to read, okay? Our climate is accelerating. Our world is in danger. But you seem to still go around forever in a circle, maybe still thinking of what to do. You mention anything, but not the center target. We target many other areas, but not the center point. Just like scratching outside of the thick socks does not relieve the itch. By now, scientists have warned us x times, many times, repeatedly, by evidence that vegan is the best, most effective way to reduce global warming. Reducing or stopping climate change, stabilizing it, is good for all of us, humans and animals, tenants. Yes, we are just tenants of this world house. No right to damage it without being fined heavily. I am just scripting this down as words come to my mind without much order. I beg your pardon. My anguished heart doesn't make it easy for me to be flowery or beat around the bush. God is dictating my hand as prayers surge within my heart for a world vegan. so that we will have lasting world peace for all on earth. Please pray to God and do your part. You can. You have the power to lead world citizens into right way of life, pleasing heavens and earth and all that live. We are all grown up, honest citizens, God-fearing, law-respecting. So there's no need to be flatteringly fake. I respect you, your intelligence, so I will not tell you anything less than honesty and truth. Plus, we are all transparent in the eyes of heavens. And every day so much untold suffering all around our world that's witnessed by heaven and earth. We all know that meat eating is number one killer in our world. But it seems to me that mostly some governments are trying so mightily to cover this by aiming at or diverting attention to any other subjects or activities that has very much less or zero effect. We should ask ourselves if we want to be on humane side, God's side, or the killer's side. Please answer yourselves and act on it now. Act on God's benevolent side, or we will go down in history as murderers, because the consequence is graver than any wars and killing up to date combined. You know that because you are intelligent. You know that because you are smart. Yes, you must be smart to act or be selected as leaders. In some Asian countries, the leaders and governments are called parents of the people. In case I offend you, I sincerely apologize. But still have to do it because we are all in danger of extinction. Animals and humans have to speak out because the world is burning, threatened to get worse any moment. Humans and animals perishing at an alarming rate. Heavens and earth are plaguing us with ever new, more strange diseases. Destructive signs are evident everywhere. Warning signs are amber and obvious around our world.
All a fire around me. Where do I go? Which way do I go? They have no way out. Fire is on our property. We gotta get out of the house. It's okay, ma'am. I'm gonna get you some help. Just stay with me, okay?
Heavenly Father, please help us. Please help us to be safe.
Help is on the way. Ma'am, help is on the way, okay? Fire's burning very close to my house.
I don't have a car. I have no way to get out.
We got the fire coming south down.
These guys out here immediately. I mean, we needed them out here an hour ago.
Need a helicopter.
Someone has to speak up more loudly. I have to speak up more loudly. Or the government signed the less meat protocol, but haven't done anything concrete for it. Oh, God help our world. But maybe God doesn't want to hear us anymore. Has might have turned his head from our prayers because your hands are full of innocent blood. I quote the Bible that many of you know. That is Isaiah chapter 1:15. God doesn't want to hear our prayers if we do not change our way of life and wash our hands of the sins we have committed by murdering en masse other living beings. Why is that we do things against God's will? Why is that we do things against our own conscience, against any logic and reason for an intelligent race? We are supposed to be the crown of creation, the children of God, the future Buddhas. On one hand, we say that we make the law to protect animals from harm, from maltreatment, or pain, or fear of any kind. But on the other hand, just brutally murder them outright, en masse, and given so much unspeakable torturing before their death. So this is a contradiction that I do not understand. Or maybe you think that squeezing them in a tight space, chain them, drowning them in disinfectant tanks, cut their throat alive, etc., are acts of benevolence and protection? Are they acts of benevolence and protection? And those are justified laws? Really? The fact is there is no humane slaughter, no such thing as lawful murder en masse of the innocents. They harm us in no way. They don't commit any crime. That's unjust. That's not justice. Please think about that and be thinking quick. So we have to do the opposite. Please declare vegan law now. No more animal suffering products of any kind. It's so simple. It's so simple. Just put down that piece of bloody dripping meat, everyone, from now. From whatever living beings that meat or product might came from. We just ban them all. Make the vegan law and sign it. Prohibit all animal suffering procedures. Forbid all of them. If we are to redeem ourselves and rescue our planet, God will bless us more. He has already said, He doesn't want any animal sacrifices, even for himself, as stated in the Bible. Don't bring me any more sacrifices. Don't bring me any more animal sacrifices. Yes. It said somewhere else also in the Bible. When you lift your hands in prayer, I will not look. Though you offer many prayers, I will not listen, for your hands are covered with the blood of the innocent victims. They are victims. I'm wearing this white band. It's in Asian tradition. It's a sign of mourning. Please mourn with me. Please pray for all the innocent, anguished souls that have suffered since countless eons, countless thousands of years in the hands of humans. War and slaughter for food, etc. And pray for their deliverance. Pray for their freedom from anguish, sorrow, hatred. Let them go rest in high heavens. If God doesn't want any animal sacrifices for himself, how would he want us to even kill them and eat their bloody flesh? So do not run away anymore from this inevitable decision. Nowadays we have so much tasty vegan food everywhere. Healthy, happy for all, humans and others. The sooner we make this decision to make vegan law, the better for our conscience, for all of us here on the planet, so that we can also be spared of judgment. So act by your loving inherent nature. Oh, my kind human fellow beings, God granted you the power to take care of our world. What are you doing with it? Please act on it now and rescue our world. Simply just make the vegan law and sign it before it's too late for you to decide the right thing, before it's too late to even regret, before more of God's wrath descends upon us with more severe weather, more plague, more terror, more lives lost, more precious resources disappear, more financial disaster. King David of all killed only one person wrongly, yet his citizen got punished with a plague for 3 days. In our time, we have like forever plague, one after another. Where can we escape? Where else can we move to? We have only one planet. Plus vicious wildfires, typhoons, earthquakes, tsunami, etc., relentlessly. Heavens and earth are shaken to the core, seeing the atrocities we measure upon our fellow human and animal earth tenants. So all kinds of calamity are inevitable. By the latest plague, Wuhan, mass death toll is still rising. Millions of people are quarantined, though the number of deaths and quarantines are minimized by some governments, fearing to alarm the public, fearing its effect on the economy. I'm sure you all know. Please open your eyes. Please open your minds, open your heart, see the reality around you. Use your privileged position of power that God bestowed upon you to make it right for our world. You are put in this high position to take care of everyone on this planet, to make it right, to be a good steward on earth. So please don't waste your time and God's blessing anymore. Do it now. Change it now. Not thinking any longer before things get more out of control, before disaster might befall us suddenly and we have no time to react. My prayers are with you. Our loving fellow prayers are with you. Work for God, with God. You will be stronger, happier, and feel more relieved in body, mind, and soul of the burden of guilt in your heart. That will fall away. So you will be feeling light, pure, and happy. By doing the right thing now, make the vegan law to save our world. Make veganism the law. God doesn't want any suffering for any beings, not any blood, any flesh of animals or any other beings, not even the circumcision. What for? What good does it do to God to make poor helpless babies suffer and die, just a few days old, and had to suffer and die in uncounted numbers ever since this practice began because of related after effects, bleeding or infection? Imagine the sorrow of the parents. Imagine how God feels. We make God suffer also, because God made us in His own image. We are God's children. When the children suffer, God suffers. God said to me, it was not his wish at all. It was Satan, the devil, who faked his name to harm the pure-hearted, the vulnerable faithful, to trap them into more suffering, to kill more of the heirs, the male heirs, who can make their country strong, make people multiply and prosper. Think about it. What kind of God would like to inflict pain on poor, innocent, helpless babies and children, or even male adults? For what? What for? God wants to cause worry and pain for their parents. They are also his children. Even my heart. Even they're not my children. I'm not their parents, but my heart was in so deep anguish, feeling of their sorrow and pain, especially for the unfortunate helpless babies. How would the all-loving God be able to bear it, not to say has even ordered that? In the name of God, the utmost just and merciful, I beg forgiveness from all countless innocent beings tormented and massacred by humans since time immemorial, intentionally or unintentionally. Now, it's 21st century, we must be more civilized. We must stop superstitious, violent tradition. We must stop harming innocent babies and animals and humans. It is Satan, the devil, that initiates anything that makes beings suffer. That's his hell style. His hell, of course. The symbol of suffering, sorrow, pain, anguish, and anything that is no good, that is negative, that is dark, and cause pain. So please save your innocent babies and children. I will tell you why the devil wants the male babies or male children or male to suffer. I will tell you why. God told me this. It was not the merciful God. It's the zealous demons, Satan's subordinates. They like to eat the flesh of anyone who dies in war and conflict and agony and the like. Recently, I cannot bear no more. They also bother me too much. So 80% of these demons already dragged into hell by the original universe gods' protectors. Because these kind of demons, they might not be Satan himself, but they work for Satan. And they try to always incite hatred between humans and animals, or between animals, between all beings, to enjoy their inflamed energy. They live off it, and they enjoy their anguish, dead flesh as well. They told me, the zealous demons, spirits, even told me not to make peace on earth, because then they will never have anything to eat. I say, I cannot grant your wish. You can only follow me, go home, go to heaven. That's all I can promise you. I cannot continue to let people or animals suffer on this planet. Enough, too much already. But they say they cannot eat anything else. I asked them, cannot you just eat naturally dead animals or other corpses, like abandoned corpses or something? They say, no, they cannot, because it's a different energy. They need to eat the kind of flesh that has anguish, hatred, sorrow, or fearful, terrorized kind of flesh, or beings who has inhabited that corpse. Because every other flesh has different energy. They cannot eat. So, well, but you have to change. I cannot continue to let you make war just so that you can eat something. They say even just a small piece of flesh from this kind of anguish, terrorized energy flesh, they can be satisfied for a long time. I say no matter what. I cannot condone this request. I cannot condone this practice. I love humans. I love animals. All the souls are innocent until they are trapped onto this planet by chance. I'm not going to let them suffer anymore. So the best is that you follow me, go home. Some did, but very little. Actually, up to today, 82% of these demons are already dragged to hell. I had excuse to do that, because they bother me. Please save your precious children. You can see there's no use to make them suffer, and even die, in many cases. In America, it is reported that there are at least 100 babies die every year due to related after effect of the circumcision. The number could be more, but some parents don't report. You can understand why. They are just too anguished even to think of reporting, or they don't even want to talk about it. But look at the history, and you can see nothing good came out of worshipping such sadistic sort of God. It cannot be God. God is love. God is caring, loving, compassionate, merciful. He created children. He created man in his own image. How would he want his children to suffer? It's not logical. You are smart, you understand. So look back. Look around. Nothing good came out of worshipping such sadistic sort of demons. Just endless war, mass suffering, perishing of innocent children and babies in big numbers. And even some decades ago, you remember, you know that. You know the Holocaust. Please stop it. Please stop torturing your babies and children, or and yourself, or and your friend. Wake up, wake up, wake up. There's no such God that make your babies suffer. Your babies are precious to you, and God knows that. God doesn't want to torture you mentally, physically, or your babies. For what? He knows the consequences. Well, at least it's very painful. If we cut a little bit of our finger, we feel so painful already. How would the baby bear it, How would the babies able to bear it? I'm sorry if I have offended you in any way, but my heart I feel like it's boiling with I feel like something boiling. Thinking of these babies and imagine how they have to feel so helplessly delivered. Just babies, a few days old, my God. Please stop it. Otherwise, God will punish you more. Devils, only the devil, they want to weaken your nation. Cannot you see that? Because baby males or male children, male adults, our future, especially baby children. I cannot reach. Especially male baby and male children. They are future rabbis, the future president, the future defenders of your country. So the devils want to hurt them, kill them, so that your country is weakened. Less male to help to strengthen the nation and do many work for the society, for your country. Can you see that? I'm telling you the truth. For what reason I do this? Risking myself, to offend you. Devils, they are everywhere. They can manifest themselves as humans. They will look dignify and tell you that they are God or they are saints. Remember the story of Solomon. He has been in exile for 3 years, and the demons took over his throne and his household, his country, and he made so many disgusting, cruel deeds. And people thought that was Solomon, but it wasn't. Solomon was exiled all 3 years until he came back and the devil was driven away. And Jesus, when he was meditating in the desert, also the devil came and tempted him. He promised, he bribed him with the whole world as a gift if Jesus but just bow to Satan. So what did Jesus say? Get thee behind me. Get lost. The Buddha also did the same thing when devils came to tempt him. But in his vulnerable state of mind and in his very innocent faith, someone might have heard it wrong. All the translation was wrong. Thinking is God's voice. So thus, God sent messengers to correct, to clear his name, to clear his order, which were not his order. So other messenger came saying that Hess doesn't want any animal flesh, even animal flesh and blood. How would he even want to harm the children? He loves animals so much he doesn't want them to suffer. How would he want your children, your babies to suffer, even risking death? Think about it, okay? The mistranslation has cost millions or billions of lives of the innocents. For example, in India, in the old time, in the Rich Veda 10:18:7, it stated that widow women whose husbands are deceased are advised to go ahead in their life. The word agra means go ahead. However, agra was mistranslated and misinterpreted as agna, meaning fire. And thus, the hymn became, let these wives first step into the fire, tearless, without any affliction, and well adorned. So go ahead instead of go in the fire. There were completely different definitions. Many women were forced to die in the fire that burned the dead. If her husband is dead and they burn him, she has to be burnt with him. So many women in the old time are forced to burn with their husband in the fire, rather than moving forward in their lives, as the word agra means. So this is terrible. And also in Atharvaveda 18:3:1 is one of the most quoted Vedic mantra, which support a woman to be burned with her husband when he's dead. Choosing her husband's word, O man, this woman lays herself down beside the lifeless body, preserving faithfully the ancient custom, bestow upon her both wealth and offspring. The misinterpretation arises from choosing her husband's word, which has been understood as the wife being advised to join the dead husband in the afterlife, in the next world. So she must burn herself in the funeral pyre of her husband. Since 1829, this practice of burning alive a widow with her husband was outlawed in India. But still, it occurs on some rare occasions, as it is regarded by some Hindus as the ultimate form of womanly devotion and sacrifice. So you see, mistranslation can kill, and kill terribly, and kill the innocent. We have to be careful about what we believe and what we follow, because we have to listen to logic, intelligent reason, if we want to follow the will of God. Just for an example, because here is a contradict statement in the same Veda, Atharvaveda 18:3:2. It is stated that, rise, come unto the world of life, all women, come, He is lifeless. By whose side thou liest? So this mantra indicates that the woman should rise from beside the dead body of her husband and move on with this living world. Also in the Vedas, it is spoken of widow remarriage. So wrong interpretation can kill many, many innocents. That's what I mean. But it could be that people heard wrong or translated wrong. Please save your babies, save your children, save your male people. Let them live. Let them be whole and healthy and well. God has created them perfect. We cannot molest or lessen any part of his body. That will be against God's will. So for your own sake, common sense, morality, reputation, and honor, please do the only right thing now to pass the vegan law. No more killing of the innocents, animal or men. And by the way, all the citizens on this planet, please support your government to pass the vegan law so animals don't have to suffer anymore. Please protect your children. God doesn't want to hurt them. God wants to love, protect them, so they can grow up to be good rabbis, good priests, good monks, good presidents, good leaders, or the strong working force for your country, for your family. That is a real God. The God I know is like that, all forgiving. If you just repent, you will be forgiven. I promise that. With whatever honor I have, please believe me. God is all loving, all forgiving. Just turn around, do the right thing. Repent. God will be forgiving you. 100%. That is a real God. Very caring for your wellness. Making heavens the way for you. There cannot be a God who wants to eat animal flesh and drink animal blood and harming babies and children, especially men whom any nation or family rely on for their strength, for their protection, for anything that needs power and heroism and idealism. So we cannot harm any male babies or male children, any males. We need them. There are also other custom or wicked traditions somewhere that even molest females, similar situations, circumcise the female organs and make them suffer bleeding, infected, and death also. Mostly done without anesthesia. Can you imagine? Can you imagine you are under that situation, helplessly delivered to anguish, pain like that? Stop all this. You, wise government, you have power. Stop all this. Barbarian superstition. You have enough education. And you have enough power to stop all this. Otherwise, God will not forgive us. Not forever. God cannot be patient forever seeing us harming other fellow co-inhabitants. But if we stop, we repent, God will immediately forgive and forget. And we will all enjoy this life in abundance, happiness, and go to heaven when we leave this world. I promise. Heavens are my witness. God is my witness. The planet may survive. The world might make it. But those who ignore their conscience are and live off the suffering of other innocent beings, such as animal slaughtering, they will not be spared of judgment. So act by your loving-hearted inherent nature. Governments of the world and citizens of the world work together in unison to make our world a happy place to leave behind a better planet for our children. May God still be with you. May God bless your vegan law decision. Be courageous, be heroic, righteous, virtuous, fearless in God's mission and protection. All of you, leaders, governments, and co-citizens of the world, please stop killing the innocent animals, babies, or men. Heavens will help you. Do the vegan law, do sign it, and do follow through with it. That's the right thing to do for all the governments, all the leaders, and all the citizens in this world. That's the only priority right now if our world is to survive and well. And if we want to avoid the punishment of hellfire. I thank all of you. The beings in this world, thank all of you. Again, just do the right thing. Do the vegan law, do sign it, do practice it. Do follow through. Do be vegan. That's the right thing, and that's all you have to do. Everything else will fall into place. It will be all benevolence, merciful, compassion, happiness all over our planet if you do that. With all my love, best wishes, and God bless. Thank you again. You understood it all. Please, just do it. Just one act of righteousness, vegan law, and vegan lifestyle. Thank you. May God still bless our world. May God still be with us. Oh.